Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening, Shiv Shankar. Good evening, Rishabh. Good evening, Arshad. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Okay. So I hope all of you are doing well. I hope that all of you are also doing quite well. This is the beginning of the month of November. Evening. Okay. So let's start. Let's start our discussion. Like the topics which we are going to discuss today. The first topic we will see, and that is about the Women's World Cup. It has been one of the tremendous journey. If you look at this, the last 10-15 years, if you look at the last 10-15 years, there was a time when Mithali Raj was the captain of Indian women's team, and from that time itself, Indian cricket women cricket team started to grow. And then this is such one such time, like if you look at this, India has got the World Cup of cricket. So this is such a huge achievement. This is such a huge achievement which we have got, and they have worked so hard that you can see, like, not only in this match, in all other matches also you can see that they have played so much well that we have finally got the World Cup. So we were waiting for the World Cup a few years back also in 2023. At that time, we could not get the World Cup. But then again, the women team of India, they have got the World Cup for us. Okay. So this is one thing, like Women's World Cup. This is the first topic we will see. Then we will talk about the GSAT 7R. It is another achievement of ISRO. Like this is the heaviest ever. This is the heaviest ever this is the heaviest ever vehicle, the satellite which has been launched by Indian Space Agency. So we will talk about this GSAT 7R. Then we have some new addition of Ramsar Sites also. A new Ramsar site has been added in India. Now the tally is up to 94. So now we are having 94 Ramsar sites in India. So we are going to talk about this. Then we will talk about Taliban and India. This is one such editorial which is there. It is one of the editorial which is there. Taliban and India. In recent times, there has been engagement. There has been discussions between India and Taliban. So we are going to talk about this one topic. Then we will talk about the Youth Gram Sabha. This is a new development. Youth Gram Sabha. This is a quite new development. We are going to talk about what is the meaning of this Youth Gram Sabha, what is being planned under this Youth Gram Sabha, and how it is going to benefit. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. This is also part of our editorial. Okay. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss, these news articles plus some editorials. So let's first start with some questions. So how many of the following are members of East Asia Summit? How many of them are members of East Asia Summit? Australia, Indonesia, New Zealand, South Korea. Australia, Indonesia, New Zealand, South Korea. C option. Evening. C option. I think everyone is going for option number C. Tell me one thing. Australia is there, New Zealand is there, South Korea is there. We have ASEAN plus 8. We have ASEAN plus 8 members. In this ASEAN, do we have Indonesia or not? Do we have Indonesia as part of ASEAN or not? Is Indonesia a part of ASEAN or not? Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So do we have Indonesia as a member of ASEAN or not? So what will be the answer? The answer will be option number D. That is all four. Second thing, how many of the following can be used for artificial rains? Dry ice, silver iodide, potassium iodide, nitric acid. Select the correct answer using the code given below. How many of them can be used for artificial rains? How many of them can be used for artificial rains? Indonesia is not a member. Indonesia is a member of ASEAN. Again, ASEAN, we do have Indonesia. Indonesia is part of ASEAN, so Indonesia will be there. C option. Dry ice, silver iodide, potassium iodide. Nitric acid. This is something which is not used for artificial rains. So hence the answer will be, of course, option number C. That is only 3. Now coming to this part, how many of the following are correct with respect to climate finance? Loss and Damage Fund was established at Glasgow Summit in COP26. At Baku Summit, the developed nations agreed to mobilize $300 billion annually by 2035. As per United Nations reports, countries would be able to achieve net zero emissions by 2035. Indonesia is of course heart of ASEAN. It is the main country there. Nitric acid is not. That's correct, Shamu. A option, C option. A option and C option. D option is none. D option is hidden here, but it is there. D option is none. A option, C option, A option. Okay, so I think majority of people are going for option number A or B. Loss and Damage Fund was established at Glasgow Summit COP26. This one is incorrect. It was established in the 2023 COP27. Glasgow Summit was in 2021. It was it was there in 2001 in Glasgow Summit in UK, but loss and damage was not there. Loss and Damage Fund, it was there in case of Dubai Declaration, then it was operationalized in COP28, and then in COP29 we have seen last year it was like it was given more such rules and everything. So it is from the Dubai Declaration itself. At Baku Summit, the developed nations agreed to mobilize $300 billion annually. So this one is correct. This one part is correct, that the developed nations have agreed to mobilize $300 billion annually by 2035. As per United Nations report, countries would be able to achieve net zero emissions by 2035. This one is also incorrect. There is no such timeline. In fact, countries have said that they would be able to achieve it by 2035, 45, 60, 70, etc. So different countries have different targets. Okay. Acha. So everyone was saying no. Indonesia is the main country of ASEAN. It is not an optional part like Indonesia is the main country of ASEAN. 2026 will be coming very soon. Yes. So, have you watched the match last day? I think many of you may have gone through just the highlights, or maybe when you have seen this in WhatsApp status or Instagram reels or this. How many of you have actually watched the match last day? Any one of you who have gone through the match live? That's good. Live last 15 overs. And that's also fine. You got the gist. And I could not see it. I was traveling, so no options. Okay. WhatsApp status. Yeah, I was traveling, so I could not watch it. But generally, now I have get this thing like most of the time I just scroll through the scores and all, because many a times you cannot watch the match. So this is one part. Indian women team, they have got the Cricket World Cup. So that is a matter of pride for all of us, and it is definitely going to give the boost to uh, like women in India, women cricket in India, or women sports in India. You will see this one thing, like sports is one sector. This sports is one sector where we see that the gender gap is quite narrow now. The gender gap in this part has become very much narrow now. Out of the out of the total number of sports person in India, now we see that near about 44 to 45% sports person, they are women. Like women are having 45% participation in sports in India. It is not about just cricket or others, it is about all the games. So overall, the total number of sports person in India, if you look at this, around 44 to 45% is like participation of women. So in the recent times, we have seen that the participation of women has increased tremendously in sports, and especially we can see that due to achievements in badminton, due to achievements in other fields also, like terms of in terms of weightlifting also, in terms of boxing also, in terms of shooting also, in many other events, women have proved their mettle, and we see that it is leading to more and more number of women participating in sports now. So now this is one such event, this World Cup championship, the World Cup victory. This is going to motivate more and more women to participate in this. More and more women will be coming forward, and there will be there will be more and more participation. Now it is also up to the corporates now. Like whenever Indian teams, the men team, whenever they are getting some victory, they are like providing a number of advertisements. Many of the cricketers, the main cricketers in India, they are getting huge number of advertisements after the World Cup victory or any series victory. Now it is also up to corporates. They have to also look at this. It should be part of their social responsibility that they should also try to promote more and more women cricketers. More and more women cricketers, not just one or two, but all of them. So this is one part. This is one part, like they should also be coming forward to support them. So that's the first part. Okay, let's start with today's topic, ISRO. It has got this LVM, Launch Vehicle Mark III. This Launch Vehicle Mark III, it has been used for launch of, GSAT 7R. GSAT 7R. This has been the heaviest satellite. This is something which is the heaviest satellite. It is the heaviest satellite launched by ISRO. It is the heaviest satellite launched by ISRO. Like, it weighs around 4400 kg. It has a weight of around 4400 kg. So this has launched it, the GSAT 7R. This is going to be placed in a, which orbit will be there? Can you tell me which orbit will be there? Why we call them Bahubali? Why crores of rupees is spent on artificial rain in Delhi, where authorities not aware that atmospheric situation is not suitable for it? Like, it is the trial phase. It is the trial phase. They tried and failed. It is as simple as that. They have tried and failed. So it's not that it should not have been tried. It's not that it should not have been tried. At least we got the idea that this time it is not feasible. So trial is not such a big problem. Like, it's not that we have spent hundreds of crores of rupees. We have spent a few crore rupees. So if you look at this, that should the trial be conducted or not? The trial should have been conducted, and it has been conducted. There is no such big problem with trial. The problem is now when the trial has not succeeded, we need to look for quicker other alternatives. We need to look for other alternatives. That okay, cloud seeding is not an option, because in the month of October and November, there is no such huge humidity in case of Delhi NCR region. So it might not be suitable. We might have to look for other alternatives. So it is going to be in geotransfer orbit. And from geotransfer orbit, it is going to be shifted into geosynchronous orbit. Now the question is this: why the communication satellites? Like, just look at this. You will find all these GSAT satellites which are there. Normally you will find that the GSAT satellites 17, 29, 18, 10, 30, 16, 15, 19. All of them, if you look at this, they are more than 3000 kg. If you look at them, they have weight around 3000 kg or more. Many of them, they are above this 2500 kg mark. Many of them are more than 2500 kg. Many of them are more than 2500 kg. So there is a question. There is this one question. When we look at our satellites, especially the communication satellite, GSAT series, you will find that they are quite heavy. First thing is, very heavy satellites. When we talk about communication satellites, they are something which are quite heavy. Now, what we see that, like, if you look at this, most of our communication satellites, you will find that most of our communication satellites, the one which are there in red color, if you look at them, you will find a few of them in blue color. Most of them, most of the heavy ones, they are in red color. And this red color represents they have been launched by foreign countries. So most of communication satellites above 200 kg, above 2000 kg, above 2000 kg, they have been launched by foreign countries. Like, most of our satellites, we have to depend on others. We have to depend on others for launching the satellites. You will find that only a few of them, this one GSAT 7R, then we have GSAT 29, GSAT 19. On fingers you can count them, GSAT 19, GSAT 29 and GSAT 7R. Only 3 such heavy satellites, heavy communication satellites are there, which has been launched by ISRO. For the remaining ones, we have to depend on other nations, primarily France or other countries, to launch our satellites. Now there are two questions. There are two questions here. Why we have a dependence on other countries? Second, why communication satellites are heavy? Why communication satellites are heavy? First thing is this, that why the communication satellites are heavy. First part, why communication satellites heavy? This is the first question. Second thing is this, why not launched from India? Why not launched from India? That why we are depending on others, why we are not launching them from India? So this question has quite simple answer. There is a simple answer. Our LVM or GSLV Mark III, LVM or GSLV Mark III, it has a capacity of up to 4500 kg in geotransfer orbit. So problem is, the weight can be up to 4500 kg in geotransfer orbit. So this is one such issue. It is having a problem that it can maximum launch 4500 kg in geotransfer orbit or geosynchronous orbit. So this is one limitation. PSLV, you know that it has 1400 kg. PSLV has capacity of 1400 kg. So it simply means the vehicles are not powerful enough. Our launch vehicles are not powerful enough. They are not having that much power. Now the second question is, so why we are having heavy satellites? We see that why they have not been launched by India. They are quite heavy, and so we are not able to launch by ourselves. Like this is the first time when we have launched a satellite which weighs more than 4000 kg. This is the first time we are launching a satellite of weight more than 4000 kg. So this is one portion. Now here the question is, why the satellites are heavy? Why they are heavy? Our satellites are heavy because of a number of reasons. First of all, they have to provide a wide coverage. Okay. And hence they are adding multiple frequency band and many transponders. They need to have multiple frequency bands, C, Q, Ka bands. They have to give multiple bands in the same satellites. Second thing, strong structure. There is heavy design to maintain alignment and thermal stability in space. In the space, especially when we are talking about the geostationary orbit or geosynchronous orbit, the temperature can go from hundreds of degrees of Celsius to like 0 Kelvin also. The temperature in that area can vary enormously. There can be very high temperature, very low temperature. There can be very high and very low temperature. So we need to have such materials. We need to have such materials which can maintain the thermal stability. Large solar panels, big batteries and power units to run for 12 to 15 years. Whenever we are launching any satellites, we have to make sure that it is durable. It is durable. And for this purpose, we are having large solar panels, big batteries, power units and everything. So this is one part. Redundancy. We have got duplicate systems like computer, radios, power units for reliability, which increase the weight. Sometimes one system may fail, two systems may fail. So we are having multiple units. We are having multiple units. So even that, if one of the transponder is failing, if one of the system is failing, the other may respond. The other may still be able to respond. So this is one part. We are having redundancy sometimes. We are having duplicate systems which are just increasing the weight of the satellite. The propellant mass. Okay. When we are keeping them in geotransfer orbit, we have to also supply some fuel, large fuel for orbit raising and long-term station keeping in geotransfer orbit. So when they are trying to increase their orbit size, when they are trying to raise their orbit, then also they need fuel. And that fuel has to be stored in these satellites. So that is why our satellites are quite heavier. In the future, when we have electric propulsion system, it may become lighter. In the electric propulsion system, it may become lighter, but right now we are using different fuels, so it is not a lighter one. This can be the future option, electric propulsion system. Large antennas and hardwares. We also have got large antennas and hardware. So that is why the satellites in India are quite heavy. And that's why we are not able to launch them using our own launch vehicle. We have to often rely on other countries for this purpose. So I hope that is clear. So what if there is a damage due to launch? Then responsibility of damage fall on which country? Origin country or foreign country? If two countries are combinedly having an operation, so then responsibility will be for both countries. If there is a combined joint exercise, if there is a joint mission, it will be responsibility of both nations. US is having, not just US, it is like the SpaceX. SpaceX is having the most powerful launch vehicle, that is Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is having the most powerful capacity. Now, so this is our first topic. Second topic is with respect to Ramsar sites in India. Second topic is with respect to Ramsar sites. So now we have got 94 Ramsar sites in India. Now we have got 94 Ramsar sites in India. The latest one is Gogabeel Lake. The latest one is Gogabeel Lake. And can you tell me where is this situated? The Gogabeel Lake. Where is this situated? Gogabeel Lake. I think it is 16,000 tons, near about 16,000 tons to the high Earth orbit. Around 16,000 tons to the high Earth orbit. For low Earth orbit, it is thousand times more than that. Like for low Earth orbit, I think it is more than 63,000 tons. Sorry, 63 tons or 63,000 kg. For high Earth orbit, I guess it is 16. So can you tell me where are we having this Gogabeel Lake? Where are we having this Gogabeel Lake? Assam. Where we are having the Gogabeel Lake? Assam. Gogabeel Lake is there in Assam, but this one which has got the Ramsar site, this one is in Katihar. in Bihar. Gogabil is also there in Assam, but the one which has got the Ramsar tag, it is located in Bihar. That is going to be one confusing one. Gogabil is also there in Assam, and now we have this Gogabil Lake in Katihar in case of Bihar. So in that part, this has been chosen as the 94th Ramsar site of India. 94th Ramsar site. This is the 6th Ramsar site of Bihar. It is the 6th Ramsar site in Bihar. So in recent times, we have seen that many new Ramsar sites have come up in Bihar. So there we have got this Gogabil Lake also in Bihar. When we talk about the Ramsar Convention, when we are talking about Ramsar Convention, so here we see that this is something which was finalized in 1971. Finalized in 1971. Right now what we see that UK and Mexico, and then now we are having India. UK, Mexico and India. India has added around 67 Ramsar sites. 67 Ramsar sites in 11 years. India has added around 67 Ramsar sites in 11 years. So earlier we were having 27 Ramsar sites in India. Now the number stands at this 94. So 67 Ramsar sites has been identified in India in the last 11 years. So on an average, 6 Ramsar sites per year. If you look at this year's list also, if you look at 2025 list also, here also you will find that we have Chakkarkottai Bird Sanctuary, Tamil Nadu. Then we have Tirthangal Bird Sanctuary. We have got this in Tamil Nadu. Tiruchirappalli Wetland, then also Sikkim. Udhwa Lake, Jharkhand. Then we have Khichen. This is in Falodi, Rajasthan. Mennar, it is there in Udaipur, Rajasthan. Gokul Jalashay, Bihar. Udaipur Jheel, Bihar. Gogabil Lake, Bihar. Okay. So we have got now in total 94 Ramsar sites. They have been added in 2025. You can expect a match the pair type question from this. They will give you the name of the Ramsar sites and also the states to which they are associated. Very prominent ones is this Tiruchirappalli Wetland, Sikkim. This is the first wetland of Sikkim. For Sikkim, this is the first wetland. Udhwa Lake in Jharkhand. This is also the first one in Jharkhand. So we have got in total 94 Ramsar sites in India. India has been a party to this since 1982. So now we are having the highest number. India has got the highest number of Ramsar sites in Asia. Highest number of Ramsar sites in Asia. And you will find that third highest in world. We have got the third highest in world. So this has been one of the achievements. Of India in the recent past. We can also give this as an example. How you will be using that? Suppose you are getting a mains question that what India has been doing for conservation of environment and biodiversity. So there you can add this point specifically that in the last 11 years, around 67 Ramsar sites has been added from India. So this shows that there has been a significant progress on conservation of the wetlands. Even if you are getting a question on wetlands, there also you can start your introduction with this, that in the last 11 years, India has got 67 Ramsar sites, which shows India's commitment toward protection and conservation of the wetlands. So this is one part. Like now we are having 94 Ramsar sites. बिहार में 2 रामसार साइट्स मिले हैं क्या? मिलना नहीं होता, दिस इज रिकॉग्निशन. रामसार साइट्स आर ऑलरेडी देयर, लाइक वेटलैंड्स आर ऑलरेडी देयर, they are now given international recognition. What is Ramsar site meaning? Ramsar site means that an existing wetland, this has been given, it has been given recognition, it has been given the recognition of a wetland of international importance, a wetland of international importance. If there is a Ramsar site, it simply means that this is a wetland which has been recognized to be having international importance. It is very much important for the conservation of biodiversity, and the ecosystem at international level. So that is the meaning of this declaration of Ramsar site. On what ground declaration of Ramsar sites? See, when we talk about Ramsar site, there is not one or just one particular ground. We generally see that it can be declared on a number of factors. Suppose, like in case of biodiversity hotspot, we have a fixed criteria that 1500 endemic plants plus 70% threatened. So there is no such criteria in Ramsar site. First thing is, it should be wetland. That is one part. It should be very much important for the community for drinking purposes or irrigation purposes, or it can be a very important part of the migratory bird route. It might be supporting huge amount of flora or fauna. It might also be hosting some of the endangered species. So on the basis of multiple factors or one of those multiple factors, an area can be designated as a Ramsar site. So biodiversity can also be there, ecological importance can also be there, importance for the birds, importance for the ecosystem. On many of these factors or any one of these factors, they are recognized as Ramsar sites. So this is one part, what are Ramsar sites in India and what is the new additions. Now we are having this one topic, Taliban and India. So what we see that, why these sites are declared? These sites are giving the importance for their conservation. Like suppose a Ramsar site is declared. So first of all, there will be more and more focus on their conservation. If a Ramsar site has been declared, it becomes the duty of the government that they have to give more and more attention towards its conservation. So it is like when we declare a national park, so what happens? In national park, there will be more focus on conserving the flora and fauna of that area. In same manner, if a Ramsar site is declared, you will find that that area will be given more consideration, more conservation as compared to an ordinary wetland. So now we are having this one topic, Taliban and India. So we see that there has been some recent engagement. The first part is Taliban foreign minister visiting India. Taliban foreign minister visits India. That is one part. Then India resumes. We see that India resumes embassy in Afghanistan. in Afghanistan. Now, followed with this, we see that there is another development. Just after this, another a part or another development, there is another development. We see that after this, there is Afghanistan plus Pakistan conflict. Just at the moment when Afghanistan's foreign minister was visiting India, at that time itself, Afghanistan and Pakistan were starting to fight with each other. They have started fighting each other in various areas. So what we see that, like India has been talking with this Taliban regime in Afghanistan. In the past, in 1990s, in the past, when Taliban was having control of Afghanistan, at that time, India has adopted this policy that they are not going to talk with Taliban. And at that time, the land of Afghanistan was used for plotting many such terrorist activities against India. It was used for many such terrorist activities against India. So that was a decade which was like a challenging situation for India. In fact, you will find that the entire problems with Kashmir and other regions have started during that time. Like many of things which has been calm for quite many years, it has again erupted during the 1990s decade. So this is one part. Now we see that Taliban is back in power in Afghanistan. But this time India has taken a cautionary approach. So now the question is, why India is doing this? Why India is going against its principle? Why India is going against its principle? Normally we see that we are not engaging with terrorists. We are not engaging with authoritarian regimes. Although there have been various such incidences in past also. We have engaged with Iraq also. We have got good relations with Iran also. We have got relations with Russia also. We have got relations with many countries which have got an authoritarian regime. We have been talking with Saudi Arabia also, and many other Western countries, many other Middle East countries. We have relations with Syria also. So Afghanistan was the single one out. It is not the only country without a democratic rule. It is not the only country in the world without a democratic rule. There are so many countries in the world with non-democratic government, and we have been engaging with them. And in case of Afghanistan, we have a special part here, and that is this one. An enemy's enemy is a friend. So what we see that India has gone for a policy of conditional and gradual engagement with Taliban. Why India is going for this? Like why India is going? There are three objectives. First is securing $3 billion in Afghanistan, 3 billion investment. This is the investment which India has made in Afghanistan between 2001 and 2021. So we want to secure that asset. We don't want the Afghanistan soil to be used by anti-India militants. That is the second reason. And do not want Afghan soil, that is same part, that India doesn't want the Afghan soil to be used by anti-India militants. So this is one part why we are trying to ensure a good relations with Afghanistan. So this is one thing, like when we are looking at Afghanistan, this time India has started to engage with it. Of course, there are challenges. Afghanistan, right now it is under the Taliban regime. Right now there is in Taliban regime. There are challenges. There are multiple challenges. Like lack of gender equality. There is no such gender equality. there is ignorance of human rights. There is ignorance of human rights. There is more of an authoritarian government, authoritarian regime. So there is all the challenges which are there. Normally, India has been a promoter of democracy, peace, human rights, and all other things. So it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult to be with Taliban. It is quite difficult to be with Taliban. India is one step away from recognizing. India is one step away from recognizing Taliban as the legitimate government of Afghanistan. The moment India allows Afghanistan to have its embassy, the moment India allows Afghanistan to have its embassy in New Delhi, at that time itself, India will give the formal recognition to Afghanistan. So we have our embassy in Afghanistan. We have our embassy in Afghanistan, but right now, the Afghanistan's embassy in New Delhi is not controlled. It is not under the control of the Taliban government. It is not under the control of Taliban government. The moment India allows them, it will be like a recognition of Taliban rule in Afghanistan. So whether India does this or not, like the entire world is watching. Okay. But this marks a definite shift in India's policy. There was time when no one could have imagined that India is talking with Taliban. India is giving a state welcome to a leader of Taliban who has been accused as a global terrorist, who have been mentioned by UN as a global terrorist. And that person has been given the state honor in India. So this is one thing. So yes, long-term stability interest, that is also part here. So this is one thing, how and why we are engaging with, this Taliban. So what do you think? Should India engage with Taliban or not? If we talk about this, what is your opinion? Should India engage with Taliban or not? Should India be engaging with Taliban or not? That is one question which I want to know from your side. Yes. So we have always said that there should be no distinction between good terrorism and bad terrorism. We have always said this one thing, that there should be no distinction between good terrorism and bad terrorism. Ethical dilemmas, national interest versus human rights. Okay. So let's see this. Now we have this one thing, Model Youth Gram Sabha. Model Youth Gram Sabha. So let's see this one topic. Now I think you all know what is Gram Sabha. I think you are all aware about this one topic, that what is Gram Sabha. It is basically all eligible voters. This is something which is all eligible voters of a particular panchayat area. All eligible voters of a particular panchayat area. So they are simply referred to as Gram Sabha. They have been simply referred to as Gram Sabha. Now, there is this one topic that why Gram Sabha is not popular in India. There is one topic is there that why Gram Sabha is not popular. Why not popular? And this article is saying that one of the main factor why Gram Sabha is not famous or not popular, it is because of it's not included in curriculum. It's not included in curriculum in same manner as Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha or United Nations. That in our curriculum we are having adequate focus on what is Lok Sabha, what is Vidhan Sabha, what is Rajya Sabha, and even we are talking about United Nations. We have been talking about United Nations also. But the author is saying that in our school curriculum this is not included, and as a result of that Gram Sabha is not popular. So he is saying that now the government, it has come with this one scheme. Government has come with this one scheme, that is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Tribal Welfare and Aspirational Bharat Collaborative. They have come with this Model Youth Gram Sabha in 2025. So this Model Youth Gram Sabha is going to be there at the school level. It is going to be there at the school level. So it will be simulating the Gram Sabha processes like the role of Sarpanch, ward members and everything. So this is something which is going to be done at the school level. A Model Youth Gram Sabha. So students will be participating. Like you may have seen that there is Yuva Sansad. In various colleges, there is competition. There is a debate competition where people are supposed to act as Prime Minister, Home Minister, Member of Parliament, Member of Legislative Assembly. In same manner, in the schools, there is going to be students who are going to play the role of Sarpanch, ward members and others. And they will be acting as Gram Sabha members. So as a result of this, in around 1,000 schools, across country, this is going to be organized. This is going to be organized across 1,000 schools in the country. So this is something which can bring more of a political awareness, a civic sense in the students who are going to be the youth, who are going to be the leaders of the future. So Gram Sabha, it has been existing on pen and paper. There has been lack of awareness among people. It has been more of an administrative task rather than a tool of participatory democracy. So this is one thing, like it has been existing on pen and paper now, but with the help of Model Youth Gram Sabha, which has been launched by Ministry of Education, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, then we have this Aspirational Bharat program also, and Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So these four institutions have come together. They have got this Model Youth Gram Sabha. So this will simulate the working of Gram Sabha. This will make the students aware about what is Gram Sabha. And maybe in upcoming times, people would have more such knowledge about Gram Sabha. Then it can actually become the tool of participatory democracy. I hope this part is clear, that what is this Model Youth Gram Sabha. I hope this part is clear. What is this Model Youth Gram Sabha? So what role you will be getting there? What role you want to take there? If you are made a member, if you are participating in that school, so what role you will be taking? Sarpanch, Pradhan, ward member, or simply a member of Gram Sabha? What role you will be taking? CM. Okay, so that will be all for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Then we will see questions from these areas and plus the new topics. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's meet in the next session and then we will discuss the other topics. Thank you. Take care and all the best. Thank you.